Howdy, Diatomic Chimera, how you doing? How's everybody doing? I watched some of Resident Evil 7, and the main dude being called Ethan really fucks me up. It was like, Ethan! And I'm like, what? Oh, sorry. Nothing to do with me. Master Chief, if only. I wish I was Master Chief. At least now I could be dead in space. Yeah, you know, just in time. I'm about to hit the goddamn button. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna start the thing where we get to the stupid garbage. Because we're gonna go to space! This time. So, here we go. Project Vortex, Limonicia's bid to open a portal to parallel worlds. Gaio, the destroyer of worlds, stepped through that portal and declared the whole of the world to be his battleground. None then knew how far this battleground would extend, least of all Gaio himself. Calamity Birth, as this incident became known, deepened the chaos gripping the world. Fighting ensued wherever the new nation of Imperium travelled, and with its fear and rage... fear and rage. Yet, there were those determined to resist, whose resolve was quietly renewed. Faced with this storm of violence, mankind will now be forced to make a number of choices. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do Crime Dad sometime. I gotta do Crime Dad 4 and 5 first though. You're getting to know Bessara's not till next game, unfortunately. So here we are in the Macross quarter briefing room where they got the titty posters all the time, non-stop. And they just talk. Zero wants to go back to Area 11, and we know what happens there, where he's like, no, you guys don't want to make Japan be free, so I'm going to go deal with that, and then I'll join in the fight. And then, of course, he realises that if the world gets fucked, unfortunately, his Japan is part of that world. Sumeragi wants to go back to fighting the concept of war. And then, yeah, she wants to go back to orbit and regroup the Meisters. Jeffrey, being the space warship dude, will go with her to space. And Holland doesn't have anywhere in particular to go, but he wants to stick with the Peacekeeping Council there is. Because Elgin Roddick owes him, and the best way to take advantage of that and the hospitality is to hang out and use Roddick as cover. Hey Random Gun, how you doing? And then they tell us who's going where. But it doesn't matter. And then we got this little bit again where Tyra's like, yeah, I mean, that dimensional thing, and seeing Harness get destroyed by Imperium in the deadline, and it's like, don't worry about it. We're like, nobody wants to speak up against Carlos when he did this thing, but Tyra's like, don't worry, I'll be fine. I'll be super disappointed in Carlos if he uses the Imperium to get little old me, and he will never be able to live with himself if he has to use the Imperium to finally do me in. His pride can't take it, so don't worry, I'm going to be fine. But the lab's making good use of all the data that Crow's selling and bringing, so maybe she'll have an upgrade that can go to head with the stupid Daemons. And he may be saving the world, but he hasn't forgotten about money, and so she's going to crunch the numbers on this one. Chink. I'm doing all right, and for your big service, 300,000, bringing your debt down to just under half its original 1,490,000 G. He's like, wow, yeah, hell yeah. But then they're like, where you going, dude? Where you going? And we did Area 11, that's the Peace Kelping, and this is Uchu, so we're going to go to space. We're going to hang out with the Fly Boys. So, goes like, I might as well go see the stars. And, but wherever he goes, dimensional monsters are probably going to show up. and like aims after him after all. So who knows? It's gonna work out. He asks about Esther, and she's locked herself in a room after seeing the footage of the country get destroyed by the Imperium. This has brought back a lot of memories for the poor girl. And Crow says, "Give her a message for me. Tell her that I haven't forgotten what I promised." Yeah, we've Clan is 60 feet tall when she's not tiny, and she's fucking good. And here's Aim again, who's not that cut up about Zexis splitting up. Carlos is like, "But you were like all over him, and now you're disinterested?" And then he's like, "Oh, I'm far from done." He says, "I believe our little experiment has stamped the prerequisites into them. I shall see whether it brings them good or ill." And Carlos is like, yeah. Shonny's like, "Prerequisites?" And he goes, "You could say it's a brand signifying those who have broken the law, though if one thinks on it, we are guilty of the same sin." And Carlos tells him to cut the shit with the riddles. And he says, "Don't concern yourself with it. You'll meet others who have committed that sin soon enough. Yes, the bearers of the stigma will soon come to visit." And then the cutscene goes on a bit, and he's like, "I got places to go. See ya." And he's like, "After Crone?" He's like, "No, much bigger fish to fry. The accursed wanderers come to this world for my soul." Because Ames fucking can't help himself, can he? No, I don't want to unequip everything, actually, oddly enough. And I don't want to train nobody, everybody's good. Don't need to upgrade nobody. We just got the space nerds, the space planes, and Dankuga. But that's fine. That's fine. But anyway, let's go. OG character cut in the riddles? Hey! In OG world, there's only one character who speaks in riddles. And here we are, in space. No, the baby Macross is not Basara. The baby in Macross is... it's not Mylene. Because I think Mylene's their 4th or 5th kid? I think it's Comilia? I think it's Comilia because... Mila Genius, like Mila Feyna Genius, when she gets married, she is at heart a Zentradi, and she has a baby, and as a Zentradi, she has literally no imagination, so she names her child Small Me, like her name's Milia, so she names it Small Milia. And that's like her name scheme for like the first couple is, oh, this is this person but small. Here we are at the briefing room. Skull Squad and the Meisters are having a conversation about Calamity Birth and how Imperium showing up have caused problems for everybody, especially everybody like in the actual path. And Alleluia says they're cutting a gash in the world as they travel, and not just a physical one. There's bitterness and paranoia ripping people apart in their wake, and civilians live in constant fear, and they may be swallowed up by this bullshit. Will you get twins small as well? Probably yes. Like that's like basically the extent of her thing. She's like, this one's a small one, this one's slightly smaller than that one. But the Imperium forces are basically a bottomless well of mindless, merciless, unstoppable dimensional monsters. So that's not good. And the Imperium spreads fear, terror, and violence in their wake and leaves a scorched wasteland, just like the militia. And if kicking them while they're down, a nation hit by the Imperium can't even be rebuilt because all their neighbours descend on them hungry for resources and taking easy pickings. Even the 3 superpowers can't stand up to the Imperium, and no one can predict where it's going to go next. And even if you could, you couldn't even beat it anyway, and no one wants to step to it because they'll be destroyed. But a lot of governments have stepped up and tried to beg and bargain for their own safety, all under the table because you don't want to do it publicly. But what the Imperium plans to do after destroying or taking over the world, we have no idea. I can't wait until the Ames bullshit is revealed and you're like, man, that's fucked up. And now we got to get to Setsuna because he's going to be stupid like he is. He's gonna say something. Here we go. He says the Imperiums bring chaos and conflict into the world, so we must eradicate them. It is our duty. And Crow's like, I mean, I'm as dedicated to the cause as you are in my own way. Like, using the New World Order to skip on my debt doesn't like sit well with me on that. So I'm going to keep on piloting the thing and following team looking for trouble. But I don't know about this one. It's going to be tough, but we're going to stick it out. But his job is hunting dimensional monsters, and the breast is built to do it. So makes sense to stick with the dudes that plan to fight the Imperium. And that's us guys, or Setsuna at least wants to take them on. Celestial Beings on board, and that means Dan Cougar's along for the ride because they're officially annexed by them. And the Skull Crew obviously won't sit this one out, and they doubt Jeffrey and the Quarter will either, so we got a team. So let's get to where's Crow, because I got actual... Yeah, so what do you think, Lock-On? Am I as good at rallying the troops as Yosuma Ragi? Not bad. And we forgot you're a poor guy with a ridiculous pile of debt. Yeah, well, just wait until I take down all those new dimensional monsters and their boss. And then Kura says, but if you do that, then won't the Brester's job be over? Guess you'll be out of a job, Crow. Should have looked before you made that leap there, buddy. Alright then, let's get Crow fired. I'll dedicate all of my resources to this mission. Even Setsuna's kicking him while he's down. He's so good. But now we just got to wait for our commander's input on the next move. So the Imperium is currently parked over Europe, and according to Vader, several nearby AU territories have reached out to it. The captain's guess is that they're allowed, these are places that want to use the Imperium Shadow to rebel against the AU's rule. Just another thing rocking the boat. Jeffrey changes the subject and asks if Samurai won't consider joining the Macross fleet. It's obvious that Celestial Being's going to challenge the Imperium, but they need much more firepower than 8 dudes. So the Frontier will step in to offer aid. Asks Tieria, do you think they're gonna help? And Jeffrey says, I wouldn't say that. It's not an outside, the Frontier's not an outside force intervening. It's a nation of this planet now and must act accordingly. And Kathy objects and that Jeffrey has no command over the fleet at all. Jeffrey says that he must do what is right, and that's to do everything that is in his power to help, which includes asking for those idiots to help, and everyone's got his back. So with that, Jeffrey's going to ask the owner of the Skull Squad, who are private military, for his support, and he asks Kathy to write up a report to the fleet's government stating the Quarter's position as liaison between the fleet and the UN, and they hope that an appearance of a common enemy in the Imperium will unite the planet. But reality is not always so nice, and it's just so possible that the Imperium will stoke the fires of war even worse. And then, alarms. Goddamn dimensional monsters. Jeffrey orders the scramble. This is chapter 24, Space Route, Irreconcilable Differences. So here's just some daemons. No dino daemons though, and doesn't even not even any rhinos. And Lickety here is surprised they've just out to space, and then Lassie's just I guess they want Crow that bad. And then we launch, and I believe we can launch everybody. Yeah. So Crow's ready to kick some monster butt, and the rest of the gang want to show the Imperium that some of the planet's still prepared to fight. So, Skull Leader, let's go. 3 turns to blow up all the monsters. Yeah, it says wipe out the enemies rather than finish the map, so there's going to be reinforcements, but that's fine. That's fine. let's get stuck in, shall we? How we've even Setsuna gave Crow shit. He's like, I will dedicate all of my resources to this mission of getting Crow out of the job. These awful things, they're all too strong and I hate them. Oh! The butt buzzsaw. The butt saw. Eh? 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 Setsuna can't even support himself against these things because he's ultra trash today. Spread over this way a little bit. Enemy in sight, enemy in sight. Does Macross Plus have been Super Heroes? I believe Macross Plus is in the Alpha series. Okay, Macross Plus is in Alpha 3, Alpha Gaiden, and yeah, Alpha 3 and Alpha Gaiden. And maybe Alpha 2 as well, but... Howdy, how you doing? Doesn't everybody control a plane with their brain in the end? When you get down to it. I'll hold it. Okay, Crosif, what you got for us? The more you hold a human down, the higher they end up flying. Or at least that's what we do around here. Don't underestimate us, Imperium. We're gonna take you out. I know Gold is in... I'm pretty sure Gold is in Gaiden. Yeah, goddamn Bryan Cranston. being in Macross Plus is good to me, because that man's good, in my opinion.
こちらの地球も随分と物騒だな。避けられるものなら。当たるか。
I haven't actually killed anything yet.
バジュラ以外にも化け物は盛りだくさんか。
These things, they are the worst space dogs, though, right? Look at them. I mean, one, they got their big weird space dog lipstick hanging out, which I'm definitely not a fan of. It's like, put it away, fellas. I still like Canaria's entire character gimmick is she's just, I'm too old for this shit, because she's like 30. Being an anime hero is a young kids game. Finally a bop. Let's go have a dude throw his butthole at me. Oh, he's not even doing the butthole throw, he's doing the wiggle. I want to do... Oh! Felt notices a blip on the radar, but it disappeared. Radar. Like, a sensor. It vanished pretty quick and it's not doing anything in particular, so Sumeragi wonders if someone's watching us from the shadows. Yeah, go and repair that, boy. It's all you can do. I want to get... Okay, the butthole is 1 to 6, so I've got to be further than 3 squares away. Okay, now let's get the butthole. Awful, just... Luckily it cannot hurt our special boy. He's what's impenetrable to dogtails. I'd like to send this someone who can defend her, ideally. Homebing Miskel. Nice work, Flyboy. But monsters like the Vadra are nothing. And you are just like them. Blop. Nice work, Ozma. Nice work, Crow. Good job. Nice, nice strats, just getting hit in the face. Barrel set. Fire. Well, hit. Atare, he's hit. Whiff one. Dodge the other one. A one-shot kill! Right there! Girl, you can't say one-shot kill when you fire 3 shots. I mean, yes, you killed it with... Well, I mean, you didn't even kill it with 1 shot. But if you had, that still doesn't count, dude. Let's look up, it's going to get crunchy for a second as I look up Max Genius, because I want to look up all of his children's names. Heal shots don't count because they miss. I mean, yes, like he did. Okay, one shot did kill it, but okay. So it's Max and Milia, and then they have a daughter, Co-Milia, which is small Milia, and then they have Miracle, Muse, Therese, Emilia, Miranda, Mylene, Moaramia, and Mirage. But Mirage is their granddaughter from Miranda. But yeah, like the idea of the Zentradi is they were made by forerunners called the Proto-Culture to defend the universe at large. So they were really good at fighting, they didn't need anything else, and humans were meant to be everything else. So we have culture and art and music and kissing and having sex. Whereas Zentradi, they just clone. Because it's quicker. Yeah, like they could have had like some things that have them go like go and they spell that out, but these guys are just like, nah, it's not worth giving them anything other than ellipses. Like AI, when they always go, you give them the box too, and it's like, come on, you can at least have it say beep beep beep, boost, break. Come on, Crow. Crow's from Chicago, that's why he speaks so much English, and he loves a hot dog and a beer while watching the game. Get out of here, Jigenji. Dimensional beast, dimensional monster. He's the flying whiffle. Yeah, the knife fight in the park. The knife fight in the park's really good, and then she loses. She's like, fuck, this is bullshit! And it's like, well, what if we get married then? He's like, oh, marriage? She's like, yeah, so you just hang out with someone forever and live with them. It's like, yeah, alright. And it turns out that's not a good basic. No, not robo knives, just people with knives. He's like, you keep defeating me on the field of battle, and I hate it, so I'm gonna get you right now. And she attacks him with a knife, and they have a knife fight. and then she loses, and then they get married and base their relationship on that. And it turns out that's not a particularly brilliant basis for a relationship, so later on they do get divorced. And they just show up in a later series. They come in to help in like a big fight. They fly in their separate planes, and they're like, "Wow, we're still really good. Got really good chemistry. We like a good combination. Maybe we should give it another shot." And then they look at each other like, "Nah," or "No, we did this last time. No, let's just stay as friends again. Still, it's fine." Anyone who hasn't seen Mecha Hell and wants to die, I should organise watching Mecha Hell sometime because it's dumb. But I like it when they have the knife fight. I'm crazy. A fucking face. And knife fight in a public place, I think it's a day. Well, it was at night, and 2, they're kind of busy in the middle of a war. That's Maximilian Genius. This is Milia with her baby. Remember that she's Zentradi. Well, she's Meltrandi, but that's just what they call women Zentradi. So it's not so big on knowing about childcare. It's the first baby she's ever fucking seen. So just fucking throws it. Just. And there's also this, which points out more than anything that Zero's full of shit. Hi Sushilaka, how you doing? Like, Zero's like, oh, only I can do the mathematics required to make my barrier good. The original Macross has a thing called the pinpoint barrier, because it has 3 little barriers, because they can't make it work all over the thing. So they just have 3 women with trackballs moving the thing around, like the little bit of barrier they do have around to block attacks. And it's like, yeah, Zero, you could do all those complex calculations, or you could have a woman with a trackball just moving it around to block the missiles, you idiot. We're all gonna die when I get this right. There's another one. And here's the last one of the lady with the trackball. Sometimes you just gotta track a ball of force field into the way, or you're gonna die. So good. Okay, ideally this dude is now like invincible to Space Dog, because level 9 Prevail should be kicked in, right? Level 9 Prevail. Okay, not quite. He's at level 8 Prevail. He'll be at level 9 when he's below 530. The job of the chat was with us boring, it horrifying. Like, if you don't get it in the right position, you'll get blown up and die. Ah, come on. This bitch is. Ah. It's a really good gift though of the Zentradi with a cigarette, having his cigarette lit by a giant robot using his gun. Nice work. Hallelujah. Not hallelujah, it's the other one. There's one of the genius kids having a music battle off with Basara in the mountains. She has to sing in the mountains because she's huge, you know, that means her voice is huge. And so when she sings in a populated area, she causes too much property damage. So she has to go live in the mountains and sing there. And she fucking loses because Basara is the best guitarist and musician of all time. And then she falls through a big crack in the ice, and then a kid climbs in her boobs and in her mouth and sees her bra and is like, "This is fucking huge!" And Basara is above such concerns as a giant naked woman. Here's Maximilian Genius in his robot, sitting on a Zentradi toilet, hiding, and then he kicks Zentradi in the dick. Macross is really good. Oh boy! Let's get big and punch this fucker.
月刊男のユーマのデータを送ります。
そんなの役に立つの？
And then, like Radigar says, he then steals the suit and wears it. It's not a tiny robot, it's a 60-foot tall robot. It's just that that man is also 60 feet tall. The Zentradi are a race of giants. Here's one, right here. 60 feet tall. Fuck you up. There's a bit in Macross Frontier where she's standing talking to Michelle, like they're just standing on the outside of a ship, and he says something stupid, so she slaps his robot's face. Because that's it, really. Since Max is the Agent 47, he's called Maximilian Genius, and it's apt because he's an actual fucking genius. He's so good. And there's Michelle and Clan, when Clan's micronized, because she has the genetic problem where when she gets micronized is when you get shrunk down to human size. She becomes childlike, and she's like embarrassed about it, as you would expect. Target, look. Yeah, Mac's like a dogfight in pure darkness. He's Mac's genius. Mac's a marine genius. And he is a goddamn genius. Yeah, I guess there aren't any animated gifs of kind. Yeah, here we go. That's Michelle saying that you can't do anything to Clown in a micronized form because he'd get arrested for being a paedophile, and then she slaps his robot in the face. Ozma's ace here is he gets double effect to the Firebomber CD. So it's like a pretty garbage, really. Like, it makes that thing almost worth it, because it gives you, because he gets 6 morale every turn. But next game when he's like double effects of all Basara's songs, that's real good. Just have to do it on the robot then, it's not that complicated. No way, that's fucked up. He doesn't want to fuck a robot. Yeah, and this is the introduction to Pixie Squad, and they're like, oh hey, and he's like, I'm the leader! I'm actually college age. I just look tiny, alright? And here's a picture of her in her robot. So you can get an idea of how it's pretty much just a big power suit. Is only this dude down here left? Yeah, alright, sure. Like, it's mostly handled for laughs and but it does cause issues where she's like, I really like this dude, but if I want to be the same size as him, I fucking murder him because I'm 60 feet tall. What's left then? Oh, alright, I'm just fucking blind. Howdy, fanboys. How you doing?
中が相手だとハンティング気分だぜ。
No spoilers for the game or the other thing. Nah, Elite Man, like, Clan isn't like that. Like, she's not played for that thing. Like, she looks like a child, really, she's thousands of years old. Like, she's not played for that. You're not supposed to... Like, you're not supposed to get, like, have your get out of jail free cards on going, she's actually regular age. Because you're supposed to want to fuck the giant one. And she doesn't try and grab anyone's dick or anything while she's small because she's self-conscious about it. Not only is it weird that Nuclear Robo has only been in one Super Robot Wars game, it has been in the Super Robot Wars game that was the one that was meant to be for, like, the youngest audience. Which makes it, like, even more fucked up. Like, I'm gonna Google Clang Clang and find a picture of it and you'll go, oh, okay, yeah, I get it, you're not supposed to want to fuck the small one. Okay, I can't find a good picture that isn't a spoilery one. Is it darker than Murder Hobo Getter? It's different. Like, it's still got some pretty dark shit in it. Like, there is a bit where a big giant monster is taunting Ryoma, and then Ryoma does a Getter beam and it explodes and it blows up the entire city, and then there's a rain of blood from the monster getting exploded and everybody in the city getting exploded, and then the monster man's severed torso lands on the screen, like on his windscreen, and goes, "I'll see you in hell, Ryoma Nagare, I'll see you in hell." Ha ha ha, and then he blows up. But Dimensional Beasts destroyed. Let's get down to it. So that's it, but something else is coming into the area. Astragus nerds! And the Oz's new Taurus suits. Brilliant. Must have been watching this whole time. Jeffrey tries to explain that we were attacked by the dimensional monsters and we're part of Zexis, and we made a truce with celestial beings so we could defend ourselves. We're not working with terrorists. But the Oz commander goes, "Nah, you're terrorists, eat shit." And then Jeffrey says, I've got cover from the Peacekeeping Council, like from member Elgin Roddick, to maintain a truce with Celestial Being for the purpose of resisting the Imperium. And this guy is like, "No, we're from the Federation, so we're comically evil on this one. No, we've got orders on high to crush any terrorists." And they're like, "Wow, they just waited for us to take out the dimensional monsters, huh? Figuring it would make it easier to clean us up, huh?" And it's a reason to fight, but Tsuragi tells us to hold back, and she says mounting an attack would reflect badly on Jeffrey's standing. And besides, if our real enemy is the Imperium, then there's nothing to... there's no advantage to picking a fight with these idiots. Unfortunately, they get shot down, and it was none of us. Gundam! And the Red Dan Cougar! Buh! And here's Johan, and he introduces himself as Meister of the Gundam Throne Ein, Johan Trinity. And he says he's come to help us. And then they all shoot. And then here's Mikhail, who says, "Shoot what you've got, Nena. Don't hold anything back." And then she's like, "Ha ha! Come on, Mikhail. When have I ever held back?" And it's like, oh, such negotiations. Now these fucking idiots are showing up. So the Federation guys are like, "Oh, they were stolen for the sneak attack. These dudes are fuckers. Let's get them. Can't believe Zexus has got some more Gundams." Like, well, I guess we've got to defend ourselves on this one. But let's try and avoid shooting the cockpits, maybe, on this one? And Cessna's mind is blown again that once again, Gundams that he doesn't know about, there are other Meisters. Buh! And the Red Dankuga still doesn't say shit to anybody about anything. But yeah, New Getter Robo is in Super Robot Wars Neo, which is on the Wii, and it doesn't have any real robots in it. There's no Gundam, there's no real robots at all. In fact, the main group that the story revolves around is Iron Liga. And Iron Liga is a series about baseball playing robots, and they play baseball. And you got those guys hanging out, having a good time, good wholesome fun, these baseball playing robots, and then the new Getter Boys show up and like, let's fucking go, chop off that demon's head, scratch out his eyes, fuck this. And it's just like, how did this ever happen? Yeah, like God Gundam, like G Gundam has Gundam in the title, and it has things that look like Gundams in it, but it's not a Gundam show. Like, absolutely not. Does New Getter Robo have the Black Getter? No. No. No, no, no. It's got a whole lot of shit in it. Like, there's a bit where Ryoma has a fucked up time when he goes too fast and he travels into the future, and in the future everybody's plugged into Getter machines to live, and they kill each other for spare parts because if their robots break down they die. So here's Crow. You guys must have a lot of time on your hands to stalk around little old us. Why don't you spend it fighting the Imperium? We'd be glad to lend you a hand. Like, they could have gone with like Shin versus Neo, or like Neo Getter Robo, Getter Robo Neo, and they just didn't. It's just like, we're gonna put in New Getter Robo, the bloodthirsty boys. Like in the future bit, there's a bit where Ryoma hears some crying, and then he goes along, and there's a baby in like a little pod, and it's got all these pipes coming out of it, and it's being kept alive by the Getter, and then he finds Musashi. And he beats up the robot that Musashi's in, and then tries to pull him out of it, and all of his lower half is just tubes. Like, he doesn't have any entrails, he's just tubes to keep him alive into the robot, and Ryoma just pulled him out and killed him. Okay, these guys are going to go by themselves. These guys are our friends currently. Here's the R gun with the mysterious pilot. It's alright. Is the Throne Dry. It's the stealth one, I believe. Nice, good attack. Here's the Ein. It's the big gun one. And here's the fast one. Yeah, here's the fast one with the big sword. The Zwei. Well, the original Getter's really fucking hardcore too. Here's Johan. In this world of increasing chaos, these half-hearted methods can no longer bring Aeolia's plans to fruition. Our mission must be our top and only priority. Everything else is expendable. But by original, I mean the original manga. Like, the original TV series isn't, yeah. You are right on that one. Look at this dude with his big fuel pods on his knees. Oh, a fucking dingo.
気を改める必要があるよ。
Here's Mikhail. You assholes thought you could beat Celestial Being after they got all tired out fighting those demons? Well, you were dead wrong. We're not pathetic softies like they are. Mikhail Trinity, exterminate! Exterminate! Exterminator! And Nana. I hope you're not thinking the Dry's just a support unit, because if you are, you're in for a nasty surprise. Destroy him! Destroy him! It's the evil fucking Haro! And then, I was gonna smash him whether you said to or not. Bye bye! Yeah, she's got an evil Haro. It's got red eyes and it's purple. It's evil as fuck. The dark reflection of our good boy terrorists. Bad terrorists. It truly is the darkest timeline. Yep. Absolutely. At least we can give the obviously bad terrorist. No, we're not allowed to keep him. Not even if you promise to walk him every day. And like the original Get a Robo manga had the dude cut off another guy's ears, nose, and poke out his eyes with his long fingernails, and then to round out the first big big major arc has a graphic depiction of a man melting from massive doses of radiation. But it also has the scientist dude who's like, "Is that a submachine gun? Oh boy, I always wanted to get killed by one of them. Put it right in my fucking mouth and pull the trigger, dude." We can't trade in Thierry. Thierry is cool. He loves the computer. And he's got a fat robot. And we can't trade in Hallelujah because he's two boys. And we can't trade in Lock-On because he gets on with Crow. And Setsuna, I mean, he wants to become Gundam, so we can't leave him out in the cold. Gotta keep them all. No room for the bad terrorists. You gotta keep the good boys. But you are destroying the target. Yeah, 2008, bad time to be a sniper in anime. Get slapped by a robot. Have to hang out with bad terrorists. Anti-area. Terrible. Don't fucking do it. Hit not. Okay, and let's get to the art dye gun lady. My mission is to defeat Dankuganova. I shouldn't be doing this.
その位置ならば
Yeah, I'm surprised Vodums was left out as well.
すでに見切っている。いい戦術だ。今後の参考にさせてもらう。
邪魔はさせんぞ
But I guess that it's only like it's weird because on the one hand it's only got like 3 people in it, so it's easy to just squeeze them in. Like you could have just squeezed them in and had them be part of the Full Metal Panic. There's the evil Haro. Now you could just have them as part of the Full Metal Panic crew, right? Just fit in quite easy.
撃ち抜いてやる
顔でも洗って出直したろ。私の狙いは復活百中。
I'd be very surprised if we didn't get Bonta, seeing as Bonta's been in every game that Full Metal Panic's been in as a secret, and all the animation and shit's already done from Z3.
撃ち抜く 狙撃はできる お互いに遠慮はなしでいこうぜ おめと引き下がれるか
Goddamn Tauruses.
あんな華奢な機体など
Awful.
ギリギリセーフってこと
Danger save?
脆い部分を潰すそれが当たれば苦労はないってね
I doubt they'll be allies because, like, I think they're just going to be exactly what they were in Z3. Just shit that shows up and you're like, man, I wish I wasn't in space because it fucking sucks. You can use Yuriko for a bit in MX, I want to say. For how, if she's been usable in things that use Prince of Darkness, I want to say you can use her in that. It's tough to know because a guy being alive in W made Prince of Darkness way better. But, like, he could be dead just because they're fuckers, right?
一切の容赦はしない
And you can use, yeah, you can use Yuriko in W, but that's before the time skip part. where it's basically just regular Let's Go, but after, like, just post-series. Oh, so fight you. Yeah, well, they can fight me in hell, fuck boy. But we'll just have to wait and see. It's only like 4 weeks anyway. I just hope that they do cross-ange but good instead of cross-ange accurate. If they do to cross-ange in V what they did to Destiny in Z1 and K, then nailed it. What's cross-ange and why is it bad? I'll show you in picture form. It's easy. It's easy. There's one. And I want to find the one of her covered in blood, and she just starts, like, she's meant to be like going, "Oh, this is awful," but she's mostly just rubbing herself really sexually. Like, cross-ange, the credits of the very first episode, like the first episode is actually just bad. Like, let's read this bullshit though. I can't find the one with her just covered in blood, rubbing herself all over, but that happens. But we'll cover why cross-ange is bad, like really bad, in a second. Gotta find the Setsuna boy. This world has no god. That is why I became Gundam. All who desire war are my enemies. Like, the first episode of cross-ange, the first half is a baby getting taken away because it's a magic baby, and magic babies are bad, and it has a mother going, "No, this is awful." And then the second half has the exact same thing happen again, but they just swapped out the models. Instead of a baby, it's the main character and a mother instead of the other mother. And then they're like, "Oh no!" And they take the magic baby away. And then the end credits of the first episode are a very lovingly shot and very lovingly like framed and camera angled shot of the main character getting like anally fisted by a big metal glove in prison. But you know, I mean, it's just fucking trash. Like, it's just bad. Like, that's why a lot of people say it's bad, is because that happened. Why? Because it's a shit show made by an idiot. It's a guy who likes to do grim dark grown up shit, but it's not grown up. So he's just stupid. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's the blood bit. Here's the blood one. Like, yeah, I mean, she's loving that. Yeah, like that's when I dropped the show after that. For, like people like Cross-Ange is shit and bad, don't watch it. And then I was like, okay, I got to see why people say it's shit and bad. And then that was the first episode. I'm like, yeah, that's shit and bad actually. Yeah, and it's the dude who worked on Seed and Seed Destiny, and then was the creative producer. It's Fukuda, and there's also Higuchi involved. And like he did some stuff that's alright, but nothing super incredible. Her butt cleavage makes no sense. Well, that's that show. It's not very good. And there's lots of scenes of it does that thing that media does sometimes, where it's like, oh, women hanging out with each other. Oh, they just hang out in their lingerie doing pillow fights all the time, right? But yeah, it's done by. It was produced by Fukuda, who did Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny. And some people think that the reason that it's in V, other than it was recent. You know what? You stand there and defend that boy, because why not, right? And yeah, one reason that people think in, other than it was recent, is because when Z1 did Seed Destiny and fixed it and made it good, Fukuda became a bit of a laughingstock. Where it was basically like, oh, remember that thing you wrote that people were like, oh, it's actually kind of really shit in Seed Destiny? This dude who writes anime fan fiction for a living has done a better received version of your thing, idiot. So he became a bit of a laughingstock, and then it was like years until he did anything again, like properly. And then he did Cross-Ange, so some people think that maybe that's got in as a like, go on, fix it again, show us what you can do, big boy. Yeah, like GoldenEye is just all about big fan service, but it does also have like some well-written stuff in there as well, whereas Cross-Ange, as far as I'm aware, the most common joke is the man falls down on the lady's crotch. Like, GoldenEye is really blatant about its shit, and like, it's like, this is fan service, for the sake of fan service. And then Cross-Ange is like, oh look, she's covered in blood, but also she's touching her titty. For like no real reason other than because that's sexy? Why wouldn't she touch herself like that? We did it. We beat all of the nerds. But yeah, all in all, my review of Crosshange, thumbs down. But also, due to the nature of Super Robot Wars and its structure as talking heads and then video game, like, I think it's not gonna have the shit. But anyway, we beat all the nerds, all the bad Federation boys you tried to pick on. Oh, Aoi, if we fight, she's like, so here's the thing, I know you guys consider us and the Meisters to be like enemies, but think about who your real enemy is. If you can't figure that out, why are you even soldiers? And Alto yells about the Imperium taking over the world. Do you know who our real enemies are? Or are you them too? But whatever. But we did it. Jeffrey gives the order to fire an SOS beacon and then get out the area so all these idiots can get picked up. The Trinities then point out that leaving the Federation dudes alive at all, let alone helping them like escape, could be really dangerous. And Setsuna just looks at them, and Korai's like, yeah, fuck off. And Alto's like, well, if we're talking about causing problems, you guys showing up with your help in the first place. But Johan requests permission to dock with the Ptolemy so he can continue the conversation. And yeah, your thoughts, Miss Sumeragi? But she's got some questions of herself, so she'll let them on this once. But the Red Dan Cougar just pieces out. And so, Vader has no data on those Gundams, and Felt also hasn't heard anything from her parents who, like, Papa and Mama, didn't mention making any of these Gundams, and, like, they designed all the others and engineered them. So, what's that about? And they're not colony Gundams, because they're nothing like them either. And they are using GM particles, but their solar furnaces are ever so slightly different. And that's why Sumeragi's let them on, because she wants to find out their story from their own goddamn mouths. And with nobody from outside Celestial being in the room either. So here's the Johan, Michal, and Nena, Trinity, and their siblings and Meisters of the Gundam Throne, Ein, Zwei, and Drei. Nena asked who was in the Exia, and when he was like, the Exia Gundam Meister is me, Setsuna Osei. So she runs over to try and kiss him. And kiss, and then Setsuna pushes her away. And Michal is like, Hisawa! And threatens to beat his face in for doing that. And the Haro's like, destroy him! Destroy him! And then this Haro is like, brother-san, brother-san, brother-san. Just going, brother, brother, brother. And now the Haro's just having a big fucking fight. They're just yelling at each other. Haro, Haro! Destroy it, destroy it. Brother, no destroy, brother, no destroy. Like, what the fuck? And he's like, oh, the Haros are having a big fight. Like, what's that? These are truly not Gundam Meisters. Let's see if I can find that. Let's see if the boy has them talking. Yeah, so they have a Haro, and it claims to be the long lost brother of yeah, okay, so here we go. That Haro, the evil Haro claimed to be the long lost brother of our Haro, and then our Haro is like, I don't have any brother, I don't have any brother. And we don't like the bad terrorist people. And Sumeragi asks him a question, and Johan refuses to answer. And he says their mission is so secret that he can't tell them. And Michal does say that he's doing something about celestial beings' roundabout, weak-ass, weak-source tactics. And then Thierry gets mad, and he's like, I'm gonna go talk to Vader about this. And leaves. And then Nana gets bored, so she's gonna. Hey, Johan Nissan is gonna go take. She's gonna go wander off around the ship because she's bored of this bullshit. She asks if Setsuna wants to go with her, and Setsuna just looks at her. And then Nana says, yeah, do you want to come with me? Looks at her, and then she gets real weird and says, you don't want to make me mad. And then leaves, and everyone's like, oh, these three is real fucking good. But they've got the same end game as Celestial Being. They want world peace, and whatever happened between us and the Daigon before, it's with them now. Well, on their side, in the same way that we're with Xexis at any rate. But if he's going to be cryptic and not answer any questions, no point talking to him anymore. But what Sumeragi's really curious about, she says, is how determined they are to end war. And Johan says that they're just as determined as us. And Mikhail's like, baka, idiots, you're the ones that are holding us back. And then he taunts Hallelujah and says, what about it, you half-baked lab kid? And Hallelujah's like, what? And he's like, yeah, he does it again, and Johan has to tell him to shut the fuck up. But while Michal is a dick, Johan does agree with him. Sumeragi's whole interfering in war strategy isn't working, so the Trinities are going to implement their own version of it. We're free to do our thing, if we want, and we'll see who gets the results Leah Schoenberg intended. And, where's Setsuna? And Setsuna wonders, like, are these truly Gundam? And by the time Thierry gets into the room, Nana's already there. He's like, how did you get in here into Vader's secret super unit? And she goes, the door! And then just skips away. Trinity. Gundam 3 pilot. No, Gundam 2 pilot. Trinity. Meanwhile, the Macross crew sees the Throne team leaving the Ptolemy, and we figure that the crew must have been shaken up by the whole thing, and Bobby is like, I bet Setsuna was, because we all know how he feels about Gundam. But Bobby here says that his fate, he's like, Setsuna's not my favourite Gundam boy, my favourite's Tieria, because his makeup looks gorgeous. And here's Tanaka calling up on space to check on us. And the surface hasn't been brilliant either. Speaking of the surface, there's something down there we gotta see. Apparently a series of dimensional quakes on the Dark Continent have been coughing up people with weapons from another world. And the Crushers have been checking them out. And that might happen up in space too. So he wants us to stay alert. What we know about these foreigners is that they all belong to a group called... Once we can get there. Zuth.